up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Let's say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
yeah.
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right. That
Now I can go back to minding my own business. Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine. Right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like that.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
And 14 days later, ladies and gentlemen, we's here. Oh man, and here is. Well, I guess it just depends on who you voted for, what here is. But everybody's in the building. What up, everybody? Y'all doing all right?
Good evening.
Hey, Miss Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, CC. What's up?
Yeah, good to see y'all. Man, we are here. She's back, and everybody's doing well. It's to be expected. But listen, we're not playing around tonight because we got a lot of ground to cover. So I hope y'all got y'all track shoes on. But listen, if we say something you like, please, by all means, Cash App is scrolling at the bottom, and feel free to give us your best interpretation of donations. Hey, Demi, what's up? Good to see you.
Hey, what's going on, Demi?
Yeah, hope you're feeling good today and everything. And so we here to have a good time. Let's I'm just gonna jump right on into it, y'all. I don't know how many days this man got left. My goodness, it can't come quick enough, y'all. He blinked though. Since we've been gone, he initiated some tariffs, and he wanted that smoke from China. And I just want to tell Donald Trump something. You ain't no dictator. Xi Jinping is. So you ain't got that kind of muscle that she got. So I just want to tell you why you sitting up playing around with real dictators. Don't tell people what you about to do, because again, you had to find out the hard way when you start playing with rich people money, and he found out really quick. And so you can call it blink, choke, whatever, but you came up off that gas for sure, homeboy. Because he backed down from all them tariffs that he did. But again, he don't know what he's doing, and I believe people have now found out. As they say, they effed around and found out really what y'all thought he voted, what y'all thought y'all was voting for. Now y'all found out what y'all really got. Kenny, what they get?
A convicted felon. That's what they got. I mean, it's pretty as simple as that. A reality show guy, a failed businessman, bankrupt 6 times, a racist. Yeah. But America. That's what America wanted, so America got it. So
yeah, a convicted felon is what a convicted felon does. Sister, I'm gonna throw this at you though, because the political violence has taken it is skyrocketed. If y'all remember Josh Shapiro, the Pennsylvania governor, he was finna run. It was one of the nominees for Kamala when she was running. Man, dude came and jumped his fence and threw a bomb in his house. Set the whole house on fire. Family was in and everything, and they lost. They showed the house, but I mean, how bad this gonna get?
I hate to say it out loud because actually I have not even said it. I truly believe that he will not be in office for 4 years. I believe that he's going to cause so much chaos and confusion that for the same reason he didn't get reelected will be one of the same reasons that they have to figure out a way to get him out of there. Because although I think a lot of people like how, I'm going to use the word assertive he is, meaning how he so-called puts his foot down and things like that. I also don't think they want a lot of the chaos that seems to come with him. So he'll either calm down and figure out a way to stop all the foolishness, or he won't be there. Although I am liking the last couple of days on TikTok, because I wasn't able to do it before, but all I'm seeing is like the people from China posting about how cheap stuff really is and how we being screwed over.
Bruh, that's gonna be so hilarious. We think that anxiety gonna be real on us. All right, Black, I'm gonna hit you with this one because I can't have us all answer all the questions because I just gotta hit. But this doggone RFK, man, over 100 cases of measles. I'm gonna let you touch on this one too, sister. But I mean, man, either we're gonna die by the money or we're gonna die by the diseases. I mean, something. Listen, I'm with you, sister. I don't think he gonna. The only chance they got is in 2 years if the Democrats take the House and the Senate back, they can get him out. But I don't know about the rest of that. But what you say with the measles, bro?
I think that's just a small part of it. I like sister. I'm on record as saying that I don't think he'll make it all 4 years.
You did say it.
And it for me, I believe it's a combination of his own personal health, even though the doctor came out and said what he wanted him to say. But you actually have someone in office that I don't think is sane. I'm on record going back to the Biden incident. Biden was demonstratively losing his cognitive skills. And I said, even that moment, in that very night, I don't know what everybody's watching. I was looking at the same thing. It's just happening at a different rate. And even when you look at what's happening right now, and you talk about the measles, when you surround yourself with sycophants and unqualified people, in the intro to this show, I talk about two Americas. Folks, it's not coming. We're here.
Yeah.
The damage that he's done is irreversible for generations. And so even if you want to pull just one small segment of it, if you want to pull the health, he proved in his first administration he was incapable of dealing with a pandemic. And now you heard it here first, you're going to see us revisit even common health things that we had under control because there's nobody at the wheel. When you eliminate most of the federal government from these federal agencies, I don't even think the impact of people are understanding what's happening here. Places like the CDC and things like that, we're talking about the federal government and agencies that oversee our health, our banking, our schools, our industry. Folks, we are in a new America. It's not coming, we're here.
Yeah. Sister, I mean, I've never known what measles did beyond what I've read in history, but I mean, it's Texas is doing their thing down here right now. It's almost like Houston had that little uptick on STDs. I mean, can you tell the people really how bad these measles are and how contagious they are?
My hospital, I drive to, I'm gonna call it the hood, sort of, to go to work every day before, and I can only think of a couple of people that we've had that were persons under investigation, like not even confirmed diagnoses. And don't get me wrong, I am not anti-vaccine. I'm not anti-vaccine. However, if I think about how much money these son of a guns made off of COVID, they make a killing off of vaccinations. And if they can convince enough people that you will succumb to some disease if you don't receive this vaccination, we're going to be lined up around the corner for this vaccination that I don't even know how it resurfaced. Because let's be honest, all of us up here probably had a measles vax. Because it was mandated for us to go to school. It was even mandated for me to go to nursing school as an adult. So how did it even resurface when all of the people who carried the virus or whatever from many moons ago are all vaccinated? So I side eye a lot of people. I mean, they admitted that COVID was intentional. Well, I'm feeling the same way about measles. And it's funny because you mentioned polio, Carol, and polio. And I was thinking, I can see a lot of that old crazy stuff coming back too, because they're targeting people and their kids who are refusing to get vaccinations because they feel like it's related, it's leading to like autism. And that's a whole nother thing, because we were all vaccinated, and I can't think of a handful of people that I went to school with that had autism. So I don't think it had anything to do with vaccines, because we were all vaccinated and we didn't have a lot of people in our generation with autism. I think it's the foods and the chemicals and things like that that are leading to autism.
Yeah, no, listen, he talking about bringing the golden age back. I think he bringing the Golden Gate Funeral Home age back, because these folks is not. You're gonna die from something, but man, there's no need to be speeding up the process trying to get there. So I don't know. Y'all just be smart, start working out, eating healthier. I mean, we just gotta do better, y'all, because we in trouble. We've leaned on this government too long, far too long, and so. Again, y'all got to stand on your own 2 feet. On no more welfare. But nah.
I just want people to start asking questions. That's all I want. I just don't want people to be naive. I don't care if it's on the liberal side, conservative side. I don't care. Because going on this cruise, everybody has nothing to do when I was on my cruise. So everybody's talking politics. Like, I'm trying to talk about my freaking chicken and steak. And they'd be like, what you think about blah, 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 blah. And whoever I'm talking to, one or the other is so naive. And I'm like, can you just ask questions?
But there lies the damage to me that he's done that's irreparable. He has damaged the America's reputation abroad. We're no longer to be trusted.
That's right.
And also, I live by a simple saying: a person is smart, but people are very stupid. And so when you sit and you watch what's unfolding, we can't just blame Trump. We can't even just blame the Republicans. Democrats, they're Dr. Frankenstein. He's the monster. He's had 8 years to sit and plot and plan. And this Prop 25, they're playing it out just like a playbook. And so they prioritize and privatize things that make a country run. And so the truth of the matter is that gap that already was continuing to grow between the 1% and the rest of us, they've obliterated the idea that we have a middle class. That's obliterated now. So even when you talk about something like healthcare, so sister's point, even if we start asking questions, he's given the power to states to privatize it and put it in the hands of the money grubbers and the richest 1%. To be able to hold the purse strings. And so even if we get to the point where we start asking common sense questions, he's made it impossible, though, for the average person to be able to afford health care. Yeah.
What up, Jack? Good to see you, man.
What up, Jack?
So again, I'm all I'm saying to us is today is because we have gotten to this point because of our inability to care about each other. Hate has won.
Yes, sir.
And it is winning. And I'm just gonna tell y'all, if you feel some type of way about me, just know the feeling is mutual. I don't even have to know you. I'm just be honest with you. If we cool, the feeling is mutual. And if you don't like me, I just want you to know, just do not misunderstand me. The feeling is mutual. So again, we're just not gonna play no more because he has exposed the truth of America. So, all right. Listen, I got one follow up really quickly before we get into a whole lot of meat that we got to get to eating. Y'all remember I brought up we were talking about shows coming back if we wanted to see a new one. Well, Netflix watched our show apparently, so they asked for Different World to start a new show, pilot show with Dwayne and Whitley daughter going to college.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we'll see how that's going to work out, but I thought that was interesting. Yeah. Listen, you like the good times. That old trash right there.
Oh, that was straight garbage. That good
times. But Black liked it.
That was straight garbage.
So to me though, I'll just say real quick. So what you're going to resurrect though, we're in different time, different place. So if you resurrect what school looks like now with these ratchet, no good ghetto bitches and sloppy ass dudes.
Fair enough. I would hope not, but you know what? That pop the balloon thing they put on there was garbage. I said, what are y'all doing, man? Just let us alone. Y'all didn't know what Black Twitter was. Y'all don't know why we on YouTube. So stop trying to chase all the stuff we doing and just leave us alone. All right. Well, listen, I was asked for us to talk about this, and I try not to talk about stuff, especially when we've been gone so long to come back. But the young man just got his bail lowered. Yeah, and so now he's out. And so again, we're talking about the Carmelo Anthony and what was his name? Austin Metcalf.
I think that Austin Metcalf. Yeah.
Metcalf.
The victim. Yeah.
The victim. Yeah. So again, I don't know if you've been on the rock or something, but or you may have been on a boat like Devin. But a couple weeks ago, man, this young man fatally stabbed this allegedly. I don't even know why I need to say that, but whatever.
No, you don't have to say allegedly. He did it.
He did do it. Matter of fact, he admitted to doing it, right? But he stabbed this kid, and I'm not here to really get into all the back and forth about what is and what ain't. I knew from the jump when it's a black and a white kid, no matter who's the victim and who's the perpetrator, it's going to always take the news to another level.
Right.
And so for us, man, this is the one thing I saw. And I felt like it was something to talk about because a lot of our parents, they have kids that are playing sports. But this was something very interesting as they were talking through his bail reduction. His father came up and spoke to him about his character. And, man, I found this very interesting because his father began to praise him because he was working 2 jobs. He was a captain of 2 different teams, I think football team and I don't know, track, maybe it was. I don't know what the other one was, but again, it was like, that's a lot on one kid. And I'm not really sure why he was in the mood that he was and what all the ins and outs we'll find out in court. But I don't know. What do you got? I mean, we're Monday morning quarterbacking here because it's been almost 2 weeks and now all the dust is set up. I mean, but sister, what do you take it from this situation?
I think that this kid did not go over there with the intentions of killing that kid. I just think that children are impulsive. Mm-hmm. And he may have gone over there for some mess and some drama. Because let's be honest, all of us were in high school and stuff happened. People got in fights, whatever the situation was, there was always bad stuff. And I just think that so often a lot of, especially young boys, for some reason, I don't know what that's about, but they don't think past a moment. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly don't believe that he went over there with the intent of doing this to this kid. But the fact of the matter is, it still happened. Mm-hmm. And somebody has to be held responsible for it, regardless to what happened. Like, even if he went over there and fist fought the kid, I could take that a lot better than what he did to this boy. He didn't deserve to die. And I'm kind of sad sometimes when I see a lot of the things that people are saying online about this child, almost like he deserved to die. I don't know anything about this kid. You know what I'm saying? At the most, and I even feel bad saying this, maybe he needed his ass whooped. But I don't even know that because I don't know anything about this child. He was a child. So I don't really get it. But somebody's got to be held responsible, especially if it was my teenage child.
Yeah. Kenny, I'm going to throw this one at you, man, because, again, he had a knife in his bag. I guarantee you policy is going to change now for all athletes. They probably going to all walk through metal detectors now. I know kids that'll carry knives and whatever reason just because they think it's cool or sometimes like that. But, I mean, what do you think, man? Had his parents not been there and even seen it transpiring, they could have stopped it, right?
Again, yeah, this is such a race triggering mm-hmm. situation. And, it puts us in that predicament again. But it's unfortunate because 2 lives have been totally changed forever. One is never coming back, and one is probably going to do some jail time.
Yeah, they both lives are ruined for sure.
And they both lives are ruined, all because of an emotional reaction to something. Now, I'm not here to get into the back and forth that I've seen on social media. I ain't even touching any of that because none of us know all that happened. We don't know. We don't know what happened. All we know is now that a young man is fighting for his life, you know. And as far as carrying a weapon, you know, that's the question now. Security. How did this young man able to get a knife in a backpack in a school-sponsored event? Somebody dropped the ball on that. Frisco ISD is going to have to answer to that.
100%.
Because they probably going to be facing a lot. We ain't even talk about that point. I'm sure this Austin Metcalf family is going to probably sue this school district.
Right.
That's going to happen.
Right.
But my son has played in that school district because, you know, it's next door to where I live, if I'm being honest. And that's not an area, it's not a high crime area. So when you have areas that are high crime areas, you're not going to have like metal detectors and things of that nature. Also, Carol, I had a wonderful time, by the way. I'm still recovering. But it's not a high crime area. So I think that's why they didn't feel like maybe there was a need for things such as pat downs or metal detectors. They do have police on usually there, a cop, you know, like an off-duty officer that they've hired, but not normally like metal detector.
But again, and I get this to you, Black, because again, to your point, David, that speaks to the perception of racism or how you perceive low impoverished communities. Because I done gone to the track meets in the hood. Everybody got a wand. They want to see the bag, man. Come, hey. Okay, I got you. But like you said, the ignorance or the naivete or whatever you want to call it, because y'all think it ain't gonna happen over there. Well, again, because how they started, what they started doing, Black started trying to label the black kid, talking crazy about the black kid, blah blah, this and the black kid. So again, it's just always presenting us with the truth about who we are in America. What's your thoughts, Black?
For me, this is very simple. Although it's tragic, it's very simple. When we interject the racial elements of it, and of course, once Twitter gets its hands on it, Black Twitter in particular, that's all noise to me. I had the privilege of serving as a juror a couple of weeks ago, and I walked away with a tremendous amount of respect for what really happens in a court, to sit through an actual trial. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the aspects of it. This is about accountability. You know, as tragic as it may seem, you know, you took a life. And if you take the racial components out of it, it's interesting, Brother Brenton, that you brought up at the beginning of the story about character.
Yes.
About his father speaking about his character. We've lost something along the way as the generations of instilling character and principles and values and virtues in our young people. And so they're sent out into, you know, the world, you know, sheep amongst wolves to defend themselves. And so to come along now and talk about how responsible he was, that's all mute. The reality is he took a life, and there is a level of accountability to me that has to come with that, as sad as it may be. I come from a generation where I was told that if you do certain things, your actions have consequences. I was told my whole life, and I'm 57 years old. You've never seen me in a car with multiple dudes. I happen to love hoes anyway, but even because of that, you don't see me in a car with a bunch of guys, because my mom instilled in us that it led to trouble. If you see trouble, you go the other direction. Those principles that was instilled in me, I carry them with me, and I make those decisions today. So whether this guy deserved an ass whooping, I work with people every day that need their ass beat. And because of the emboldened of Trump's administration, many people need their ass beat, but there has to be an accountability and a control, and where you have to be responsible for your independent decisions about how far you're willing to take it.
Yeah.
But even if with me saying that, because I don't know anything about the kid may not have deserved even to be cussed at, let alone to get his ass whooped. But what I'm saying is, if he had simply whooped his ass, he wouldn't be possibly spending a lot of his life in prison. Because
in our generation, Lady D, that's what we did. Somebody wronged you, you fought it out, and you lived the next day. You got your ass whooped, or you whooped somebody's ass. But when you start bringing weapons, But again, those decisions, they're not being taught. I love the First 48 show. And it's amazing how, when somebody dies, we always, that person turns into Keith Sweat. He was gonna do this and he was gonna do that. Well, his ass shouldn't have been in the street committing crimes.
Yeah. So again, to all y'all pointed, even to what Curl is saying, this is what I'm saying about the level of anxiety that this is. Black is making a great point. We will never get back to what we have pretended to make this country about. What we are seeing currently is the mask being torn off of our face.
Yep.
And now you're seeing the real Two-Face, who we really are. So no, everybody's on edge and everybody's angry because again, we have pretended for so long to be something that we're not. So I apologize. We're not coming back. So again, that's why you see me at all my children's games and I'm watching them. So again, I have to teach. We have to teach our kids. I know they think they're grown. I know they think that they know a lot. But again, we just found out had his parents, I ain't gonna say that. Okay, we stay out of people's pockets and we stay out of folks' house. So I'm gonna just stay out of folks' house. Okay, that's
what you're saying, though.
Yes. So again, I'm just not gonna listen. I learn from other people's mistakes, and so that's for me.
I feel like there should have been a coach or somebody, an attendant, sitting under that tent. Not necessarily a parent, but adult to say, "Hey, young man, this is for the team. You need to go back over there."
But they tired.
Some sort of de-escalation.
Devin, they tired.
And last point, we can't change the past, but I hope the conversation is happening at home, just like we're talking about this. How many parents now are saying, well, look, hey, let's point to this situation and doing a little bit of role play, real life role play. So this happens to you. This is what I want you to do. So that's where I know you was going. You can't say what the parents did, should have did. We don't know. But I hope this conversation is happening now. I'm telling my knucklehead son, control your emotions. This is an opportunity for me to reinstill those same things I was taught back in him. Hey, son, watch your company.
That's right.
Watch where you're going. Watch your surroundings. Use common sense.
Yes.
That's all I'm hoping for.
Yes, and that's it. And again, they can call me helicopter. I'm overwhelming. But listen, as long as I get you out of my house and you're an adult and you can live on your own, I've done my job. Now, whatever foolishness you go do on your own, that's on you. And I'll bury you with tears in my eyes, but I'm going on the trip because I got insurance on them booties. So just be careful with you. All right, y'all. Well, listen, that's what that is about that. We'll keep following up as this story keeps unfolding. But again, I'm glad we got time to at least let it breathe a little bit because man, these folks start talking about junk, man.
It's still going crazy on my timeline. It's we got everybody and their mama think they a lawyer and they a PI, they investigator. They just think they know everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
all right, my brother, you got it.
Yeah, man, we've had a lot of sports that took place since Lady D been over there sailing the 7 seas and doing whatever she been doing on her vacay. But we got the WNBA draft tonight, and Paige Beckers was the first pick of the Dallas Wings.
Yes,
I don't think anybody was surprised by that. She will be in Dallas. The UConn women won the national title. If you didn't know, they blew out South Carolina, so that was just something to get you caught up on. Well, we got some NIL issues going on. You're probably saying, what is NIL? That's name, image, and likeness. These college athletes now, they get paid for their services, which I have no problem with. They should have been getting paid. Well, we got a situation that happened the last couple of days. Tennessee former quarterback Nico Iamaleava, and I butchered his name, but it don't matter. He ain't at Tennessee no more anyway. He was trying to renegotiate his deal. He already had an NIL deal that paid him $2 million. His agents wanted to go back, and they wanted a $4 million NIL deal. Remember, this guy, he's a redshirt freshman. This is his first year at college. Tennessee, they collectives like, nah, we ain't doing it. He didn't show up for spring practice Thursday and Friday. So the coach, Josh Heupel, said, your services are no longer needed. You are not welcome back. So now he's going to enter the transfer portal, which opens up on Wednesday. And there's going to be schools, I'm sure, that's going to be coming after him to offer him some money. But here's the slippery slope now. Now you got these guys that can get these deals, and then they want to come back to the table and get more money. And they basically tell you, if you don't give it to me, I'm leaving. That's where we are now with the NIL. Again, I'm all for these players getting paid, but we got to figure out some of these contracts. Lady D, what's your thoughts on where we are now with paying these college players?
I mean, I think it's great. He learned a lesson early in life.
Okay.
You don't get everything you want, and you ain't as great as you think you are.
Hello.
Somewhere there's somebody that's sick of your ish, and that's exactly what happened to him. Now, is it going to humble the? I doubt it. I mean, it's going to just carry forward in life. But I'm glad somebody like finally put their foot down, because they're, making, the knuckleheads we got in football. They're just creating those knuckleheads sooner, because they're paying them a lot, sooner. Just a whole bunch of like Anthony Edwards out there just making babies and just doing dumb shit. That's just all it is. So I'm kind of glad they put their foot down. And in my mind, I hope he learned a lesson, but I know he didn't.
And I'm with you, Lady D. I don't think he's learned a lesson, but we do know, Brother Black. I'm gonna toss this one to you. There was supposedly Colorado and another school that's supposedly interested, Oregon, that's interested in his services. Well, Coach Prime came out and said, "Nah, we good over here." Oregon said that they aren't interested either. Now, this is an interesting thing. So if this guy doesn't get any interest from other schools, he's ass out. What's your thoughts on another school taking a shot with this young man? Would you, if you were in charge of a football program?
I wouldn't, but again, this is another one that comes down to character. And so where I have a tremendous amount of respect for Deion Sanders, for example, is that he already was rich. He's jumped into this game. Don't get me wrong, he want to get paid his fair value, but I believe he has a genuine interest in improving the lives of young people, and he's demonstrated it everywhere he's gone. Now, is there some self-serving aspects of it? Absolutely. He's used his nepotism to get his sons where they want to go, and rightfully so. Having said that, to answer your question, I wouldn't either. But unfortunately, the Americas that we live in, the two Americas, there will always be somebody that will rent his services because in sports, historically, we know that this is what happens. What's unfortunate, I saw somebody said, Tori says in the comments that they're overpaid. It's unfortunate that this is another aspect of the absolute insane nature of the America that we live in. The vast majority of us can't afford to buy gas, food, this, that, and other. And you got some little young whippersnapper who can't even piss without pissing on his fucking knees. Is getting $3 or $4 million, because of his likeness. Meanwhile, you got grown ass women in the NBA, even though I don't watch it, they're grossly underpaid when you consider what's happening. And so the imbalance here is just astonishing that somebody who haven't proven themselves before they ever could play a pro game, they're making this kind of a money. And I'm loving, sis, that you brought up Anthony Edwards, because if you look at the progression on where they start, and that's the example, he's one of the new faces, it's not even, nothing's really changed. You would think that after 20, 30, 40 years in the league, that some of these young people will have learned some valuable lessons. Insanity is doing the same shit, the same way, expecting different results. So this young man just is already on the path of being an absolute numbskull, and even whatever money he make, throwing it away on a nasty, no good bitch.
Well, there you have it. That was spoken from the good brother Lee Black. All right. Here we go, Brendan.
Got me falling behind him.
Here we go. This was this young man's stats his red shirt freshman year. He threw for 2,616 yards, 19 TDs, 5 interceptions. He led the Volunteers to a 10-3 record, and they were part of the college football playoff. I'm gonna ask you this from a teammate standpoint. With the way he left Tennessee, would you welcome him in as a teammate?
Yeah, the junior college.
Okay. Why junior college and why not a Power 5, a D1? Why wouldn't you want him to be your quarterback at a Power 5 school?
Well, because Power 5 it's almost like you're playing on everybody's playing on the same level. So again, it's about like we said, what kind of baggage you bringing into this locker room. Like, I don't want your baggage, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I busted my butt to get here. Well, then I don't need you coming here throwing us off. Again, we talked about chemistry. It's important, right? Mm-hmm. So again, yeah, you take that out. You take that to junior college. You know what I'm saying? With Dodo and JJ now, that's just going just because they got a felony. You know what I'm saying? Or something. They just need a good quarterback to throw the ball to Juju. Whoever. You know what I'm saying? Just that's what you got to do. I mean, at this point, because again, you talking about you showing your butt. Well, you put your drawers on, son. Again, that's what it is. Because again, we've talked about this before. We know that this is a double standard, because if you are good enough, they'll overlook anything.
Right.
And so if you what that says is that that shows you're not good enough, because now they're making a big deal about it. So the moment they're not making a big deal about whatever you're doing, then just know you that good.
Well, future Hall of Fame, college football Hall of Fame head coach Nick Saban, he addressed this even before. I think this is you're probably seeing a lot of the experienced college coaches leaving the game because of this new NIL. Because now a lot of these players will probably be making a lot more money than some of the assistants at these universities. Yeah. But it is where we are. I mean, this is where we are. It's a big business. Again, I'm gonna reiterate what I said. I believe college football players, college athletes, male or women, should be getting paid, because this is $1 billion money making industry. But the thing is, you're gonna have to set up some sort of collective or some sort of commission to oversee. Get contracts written, get contracts. If you want this money, you can't come back to the table later and say, I want more money. It can be based on your performance. If we decide, if we want to give you more money, you got to perform, because that's how it works in the real world. So if you want to get this real money, we're going to make it work. You got to go by these real world rules. So that's my thoughts on it. Again, we're going to see what happens. But again, the NIL is here to stay. It ain't going nowhere. And you got to deal with it.
Shoot, boy, you got that belt real good on that Wi-Fi today, don't you? Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I had to tell it go. I was gonna have to put it in the corner. Hey, wait a minute. Don't speak too soon, because children will show out. They will, especially when you got company.
I'm just that's an inside joke. I'm just messing around. All right, y'all, listen. Oh man, this has become one of the most favorite segments of our show for me. Asking AI. And what I decided to ask AI was the top 3 disciplines for teens. So again, I ask you guys, were y'all whooped as a kid?
Absolutely.
I know your mom. She probably gonna whoop you for talking about them jaws.
I got very few. I got a few, but not a lot. Yeah.
I can tell your demeanor is always that of yes. Sister, you get a stingy cord or something?
I did, especially once my brother left, because he used to stay in trouble. But once the bad kid moved out,
all eyes on me. Yes, sir. Well, okay. Do y'all believe in whooping?
I do.
I need more.
Really? Okay.
Nah.
All right.
My thing.
Well, let's see. Let's see the top 3 punishments or disciplines that AI says are most effective and for teenagers, and then let's see what we think about this. One is natural consequences. It says natural consequences occur when a teenager experiences the direct results of their actions without parental interference. For example, if a teenager neglects their homework, they might receive a poor grade. This method helps teens learn accountability and responsibility for their actions. Why it works? It helps teens understand the real-world implications of their choices, prompting critical thinking and decision-making skills. Okay. Implementation. It says, while allowing natural consequences ensure safety and safety is prioritized and help them process the lessons learned afterwards. What y'all think? Look at Brittany.
I love it. I agree.
Okay.
I agree. My mother said a hard head make a soft ass every time. We also heard you don't believe fat meat is greasy till you see it sizzling. So all of these Southern colloquialisms, they played out, and I'm still a fan of it, and I still implement them today. When you make a decision, there will be consequences.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And deal with it.
What up, Brittany? She said, "Yeah."
What up, Brittany?
Okay. Yeah, Kenny, you gave a little half and half. What you say?
It said natural consequences, and it gave an example of you getting a bad grade, and you basically, you get that bad grade. That's the consequence of you not doing your work. I get that, but as a parent, though, you got to take, in my opinion, you got to take it a step further. Okay, he get a bad grade or she get a bad grade, but guess what? Your ass ain't going to that party Friday night that you think you were going to.
Okay,
until you get them grades up. So I agree with it somewhat, but I also think that it should be another level to that natural.
And that's why I'm hoping this is one of three.
Yeah, sure.
You say it's the top three, so I'm hoping this is, and that's one of them I believe in.
Okay, so sister, I mean, you agree, disagree?
No, I completely agree with Ken. Like, absolutely. Like, yes, there's natural consequences, but you need to add, because they don't care.
Okay.
About having a bad grade.
Okay. Yeah. And again, for me, see, because I got teenagers, they on their way up, but the thing for them is they be pretending like it's something. They always got an excuse for something. So I don't think natural consequences really affect them, because again, they try to blame it on somebody else. No, this is what you did. Well, the teacher didn't give us enough time. The teachers didn't say this.
Yep.
Well,
excuses.
Okay. Yeah, excuses. That's my problem. See, again, I hear you, AI, but you ain't got no kids, AI. Where AI Junior at? What'd you say, CC? That's true. That they don't care, and they don't. So,
this is where you have to make them care. So, the natural consequences is a bad grade, but what is the consequence in your house of getting a bad grade?
Correct. Right. So so I think so in our position, then this shouldn't be one in of itself. It should be one alongside something else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Okay. Yep. All right. So here we go. Here, maybe this is what needs to go alongside it. Number 2, loss of privileges.
Absolutely.
There you go.
It says removing specific privileges such as screen time, social outings, or participation in extracurricular activities can be an effective disciplinary method. This approach directly ties to the loss of behavior, to the behavior in question. Why it works. It said it provides immediate feedback related to their behavior. When privileges are removed, it encourages teens to reflect on their actions and the importance of following rules. Implementation says be clear about what behavior resulted in the loss and set a timeline for when privileges can be reinstated, allowing for an opportunity to earn them back. Sister, you agree? Ken gave a thumbs up. All right.
I mean, I'm going to agree, and I don't know what number 3 is. So I'm going to tell you, for most kids, it worked, but I'm going to tell you one time it don't. It's always that one kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They're a habitual line stepper. Yeah, you're right. It is always that one.
Demi said it depends on the child. The type of discipline I would give in our home, lying was an automatic whooping. All right, okay. I know that's right. See, I can't whoop no more because see that belt come up, and if it hit that undercarriage just right, I'm over there squinting.
Oh boy.
Brittany says, not just teens, my 10-year-old is starting to test me. They just don't care. But I'm a little soft. And that's the problem for me. I'll give mine in just a second. Black, what you think?
Hey, Brittany, do you have a daughter or a son? I would like to know that. Is it a boy or a girl? That's interesting. Go ahead, Black. I'm sorry.
Well, for me, this one is absolute, because where it has no value is if you've given away the store in the first place. So when you raise these, before they got the teens, we have young people that have iPhones and they're 8, 9 years old. They have a flat screen TV in their room when they're 8, 9 years old. They're allowed to do whatever the hell they want to do. And so I see sister raising her hand, but I see my brother over there too. Look, and I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with that, because again, when we are doing better, and I'm not saying let's go back to the days when I was, where you just have a bed and a mattress in a room. No, but my thing is, I believe that those things should be earned anyway, and so they come with a responsibility. When I'm giving you this cell phone, you have to be responsible with it as well. But we're giving away the store to where you're right, so that you wonder why the little girl is dressing so sassy. You're buying those clothes, and if taking away the video game, some of these young people are killing their parents because they can't play PS5 anymore. Yeah. And so everything comes, you should be instilling the lessons in them that everything comes with a responsibility. And so, but they're allowed to run free. There's no bedtime, there's no books, there's no studying, and yet they have all of this shit. You couldn't do that in my house.
I think this needs to come up in one of our Black Love series, because you're bringing up a lot of points that I would love to rebut, because again, the problem is that we don't have enough time to parent because we're too busy chasing that money and they wearing us out at work.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
I know, but I don't want to get that far. So
I will rebut. We go back to the days of latchkey kids, but again, when I need to teach these little fuckers how to be responsible.
Yeah. She should say, when I grew up, we had 2 TVs, one in the living room, that's right, and one in daddy. That's it. You know it. You better believe it. She said parents need to parent and not become best friends. So let me tell you my issue with. I don't have a problem with taking privileges. This is what I have a problem with. Y'all not being consistent. As a parent, you have to be consistent. And again, if you say you're gonna do something, don't say something that you don't mean, because then when they find out you lying, you'll never win it again. I'm a consistent privilege taker. I'll just say this. I have put a child on child support and they don't even have kids.
God, dog.
I don't play.
Damn.
I don't play. Hey,
wow.
But y'all use your imagination and you'll figure out why. Because then when I caught you, oh no, so you don't even know what you're doing. You better be lucky you didn't get one. But I'm gonna show you what they feel like. Yes, sir. Yep. And listen, and it worked. You know why?
I bet it did.
Yeah. Well, how long are we gonna do? Till you get up out of here? Yes, sir. So again, so y'all got to be consistent. And then if that's why, and then you got to make sure your kids got stuff. Because how can you take something from them and they ain't got nothing? And that's a problem. So again, y'all gotta choose your battles. Because again, some of y'all so mean, y'all don't want to do nothing for your kids, and then everything is a problem. But so again, there got to be a balance there. She says, "I need you." No. See, that's another thing. See, y'all can't be sending daddy if y'all not together. And you send daddy over there to always doing the punishment now, because then the kids all they gonna know.
Yeah, he always got to do the dirty work, right?
Yeah. Again, that's a whole nother subject. She says exactly, right. And don't allow the children to divide and conquer between mom and dad. Right. You are united. That's it. Miss Tori, I was not buying any phones to go to school with. I know that's right. Yeah. Yes, we can. All right. Okay. Thirdly, and then we get out of here. It says, I don't know if we're gonna agree with this one. I think AI showing its white side. But here it is. Structured dialogue and problem solving. Okay, it says engaging in structured conversation about the behavior that prompted the discipline can be very effective. This includes discussing why their actions were inappropriate, exploring alternative behaviors, and collaboratively developing a plan for improvement. Why it works. It prompts open communication and reinforces the idea that mistakes are learning opportunities. It also encourages teens to take ownership of their actions and come up with strategies for better choices in the future. Implementation. Use open-ended questions to facilitate dialogue, listen actively, and guide them to reflect on their feelings and the impact of their behavior. Kenny?
I actually agree with this. I
Okay.
actually believe that you should be a safe space for your children to express when we have a questionable behavior situation. I'm going to listen, and I want you to tell me what was going on. Why did you decide to do that? But we all know that most of us grew up in the tradition of, I don't give a damn what you had to say. I don't want to hear what you got to say. You're a kid. You're seen, not heard. So we really don't want to hear what you got to say. You're going to abide by my rules. Again, that may have worked back then, but I think you do have to be a safe space for your children, even if you don't like what they're going to be saying. You gotta get to the root of why that behavior is happening and why they feel the way they feel.
Yeah, that's tough because these kids got really smart mouths, and I just listen. I have to take medication.
Oh yeah, now you can't allow them to be disrespectful during this conversation because you don't want them to say, "Hey, I'm not one of your little friends." Now I'm gonna let you speak, but you're not gonna be calling me bruh. You ain't gonna be doing that. I'm not your bruh.
Yeah.
So no, you gotta. Yeah.
Sister, what you think about this one?
I'm gonna answer it with a scenario and see if y'all agree with me. If I go back to my childhood, Mama, can I have a cookie? No, you can't have no damn cookie. I go in the kitchen and I sneak the cookie. Next thing you know, I'm ducking chairs, lamps, shoes over a damn cookie. But how about, Mama, can I have a cookie? No, girl, I told your black ass you can't have no cookie. Why can't I have a cookie? Devin, I'm a single parent of 5 kids with no help. Do you know how hard I have to work to get you kids the things that you need? If you eat this whole thing of cookies, it'll be at least another month before you can have any more. Can you just please respect how hard I work and the things I do to get you what you need? Can we agree that you can have this many a day? And then it's going to tug at my heartstrings. And then I'm going to feel bad that I even woke her up after she'd been working 2 or 3 jobs as a CNA. You see what I'm saying? But instead, I didn't get that. Instead, I got a knot on my head and all type of shit over Chips Ahoy.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
That makes sense.
Right.
You're right. I give you that for sure.
Yeah.
100. All right, Black. Listen, he's registered, y'all. So y'all wait for it. Here it comes.
Well, again, I don't agree with the AI assessment, and it's the new age parenting, and I think for me, it's what's created a lot of the discipline out here. Now, am I advocating the example that Devin gave that you should go upside your kids' heads for every little thing? No, but I use that same example of cookies. So when there's 11 of us in a house, that talking to Brother Kenny to make it make sense, that's instilled in us from the very beginning. It's 11 fuckers in here, not including my mama and whoever she laying up with. And so there's 1 pack of cookies in here. If you took your monkey ass in there and you ate more than your share, you deserve to be beat because common sense had to kick in here. And so my thing is there are consequences. And I'm AI didn't include the one I want. I'm a fan of corporal punishment, but it comes with boundaries. Do I think you should beat out of anger or even beat with extension cords? No, I'm not advocating that. But if you start disciplining early, I believe you curtail that behavior and you eliminate those circumstances that come up to where, that this person is defying you. And to your point, Brother Brenton, you have to be consistent in this punishment.
Gotta be.
I tell you that if you do something and it's going to be a consequence, it's my responsibility to follow through. Correct. But we have too many parents that are their children's friends. I cringe when I hear that's my best friend and we're best friends. You are their parent. And so, my point I'm making here, God made a simple request at the very beginning. You can eat from every tree around here. Them fuckers wasn't hungry. He simply said there was 1 tree in the middle of the garden. Don't eat from it. Left these fuckers unwatched. And what they did, they ate. And there were consequences. That one beautiful example is what I live by. There are consequences.
Yep. You got to be smart. Please, by all means, if you're going to give something and you got to see it through, just don't give them something that you can't do yourself. Because again, that defeats the purpose. CC says, I ain't my children's friend. I don't care to be their friends. I'm telling you, I would prefer y'all leave me alone sometimes, but if I'm being honest. And listen, one of the people on the panel, he hate his kids. So
yeah, he damn sure do. You see what he call him. Y'all see, y'all go back and watch some of these shows. You see them adjectives he used. Black basically said F them kids.
Nah, he love his folks. Listen, he love only the way he can love his kids. He love them so much. So all right, y'all. So that's what AI thinks about how you discipline your kids. So again, govern yourselves accordingly, and until she got too many of them. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. So hold on. She's back 2 weeks in. Listen, she said maybe, and maybe came true, but she in somebody's business this week. What you doing, honey?
I really was minding my business, and then this closeted dude came across my timeline, so I had to talk about him a little bit. For many of y'all who don't know, Neo is in a polygamous. It's not even a relationship. He has multiple girlfriends, and he recently explained why his girlfriends are not allowed to date other men, while he has no obligation to be faithful to them. He will not commit to them, but there is an expectation that they commit to him, and they dumbasses comply with it. Exactly. So what I wanted to ask y'all, and I want y'all to be, and I'm asking Black grinning ass last, because look at I want y'all to be 100% honest with me. Brenton, your wife don't watch this. Would you like the love and lifetime affection of one woman, or let's just say in your youngin' days, would you prefer just to have multiple bad bees just to give you variety to avoid boredom?
Oh, you starting with me?
I'm starting with you.
Okay.
Would you require them to be committed to you?
So, I mean, so again, I look at this as just dating. Like, we dated a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, we did things. No, I wouldn't. In all reality, if I'm with a girl, I know what y'all want, and I ain't willing to get. I'm barely willing to do that with one of y'all, and then try to do it for 4 of y'all. No, man, I'm not doing that. That's too much of my attention. And again, Black has mastered this art. He has found some .com page of filthy, nasty, no goods, and I don't know how he do it, man. But for the other ones out there, all of them want the same thing, and I'm just Neo is doing that same reason because Nick Cannon is doing it because they got money. And that's all that matters, again, because, again, like we were talking about the kids playing football. If you good enough, well, if you rich enough, I mean, Elon Musk. Right. Y'all remember them fools were talking about, man, Elon got more kids than us. Elon got more money than you, fool. So, again, that's a whole conundrum in itself. But there are women out there that will do anything for money. And they find them. I'm just not that dude because you had to work really hard for my money, and I just wasn't giving it up that easy. So, no.
All right. Ken, do you think this is a form of emotional and manipulative abuse toward these women?
Great question.
That's a damn good question. I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely do think it is a little. It's definitely manipulation. But at the end of the day, though, they grown, so they don't have to be in this situation if they don't choose to be either. So I'm not gonna give it all. I'm not gonna put it all on Neo. I think these women, they infatuated with who he is, his status, and his bank account. So a lot of times, a woman gonna put up with a little. They'll deal with something if they are getting treated and flown out, and taken care of. So. Of course, it is manipulation. It's just pimping. This is pimping 2025. It ain't no different than how the pimps did back in the 70s.
All right, Black. Do you think it's possible for a man to seriously love multiple women and care for them as if they were spouses?
That's such a loaded question.
Hell to the no!
Of course not.
And so I may be surprising you guys. The answer is no. Not true love, not real love. Now, in everything, this situation, I agree with Brother Kenny. If you're talking about having fun, get my rocks off and I could afford to, absolutely. But if you asking me in all seriousness, would I prefer the love of one woman? I've shared this with the family many times. When I dream, even now, and I've been divorced, for 30 years,
Wow.
I dream of that one person, my wife, of all of the cascading faces that go through. Whenever I'm in a dream and it's a wife, it's one face, and so I never remarried for that reason. But now, and what Neil's going through, and this is a little bit of narcissism, when you got that kind of money, and to answer Brother Kenny's question as well, yeah, it is a form of manipulation, abuse, and control, but with a voluntary participant.
Right.
And so when you have money, and I freely admit it, I would be the exact same way. Now I wouldn't pay the kind of money that they're paying. I just happen to love cheap, no good bitches that settle for a lot less. And so, I would still do the exact same thing, but I find the ones that's broken even further, that, I don't need ones that need a Coach bag. I get the ones that's happy if you buy them a Happy Meal, they don't need their own car. Get the bitches a lift, let them come to my house and drink what they want to. But, they still can benefit, and my thing is, as long as I'm spending the bills, yeah, you got to do what I say, and that's just the way it is.
Just a second.
This is a test. This is.
Okay. Well, I hear you, but I feel like it's my duty in life to educate hoes.
Oh. Can we clip that? Can we clip that, please, Brother Brenton? We got to clip that right there.
Yes, sir.
As a professional hoe educator, at least 3 to 4 of y'all dumbasses. And I saw the parties. He liked to drink, and I heard he liked to indulge in other things. I'm gonna need 2 of y'all hoes to get him wasted and drunk and toe up, and somebody who can spell IQ to go and get his bank account information, his deed to his house, and wipe his ass clean. What's wrong with you stupid hoes? Y'all over there messing up y'all pH, giving away y'all youth. But this dumbass dude who I know got y'all itching at least once a quarter. I'm gonna need y'all to do the right thing and clean his dumb ass out. Clean him out. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all know he don't have good sense. Anybody that's dumb enough to have 4 people in their house that they don't know. I don't even want my family members in my house more than overnight. You got 4 people in your house you don't know and go to sleep around them, and they ain't cleaned your ass out. Y'all some dumb bitches. I need to educate you on how to do this. If you go hoe the right way, don't be a dumb hoe. Be a smart hoe. I was talking to my husband about it earlier, and he joking about it and mentioned something to it about, oh, can we do that? I said we could, but I can spell and I have self-esteem, motherfucker. What you don't ever want to do is put me in a situation where you open us up. It's not gonna work out for you. You know what I'm saying? But any one of you hoes that need a little help, DM me. I don't mind it. I'll go back to minding my business.
Wow. So you checked my boy?
Well, he was being funny. He knew.
He knew. Okay.
Absolutely no way.
All right. Well, yes, sir. I mean, sometimes you gotta check them. Make sure. Listen, you ain't gonna win that one, homeboy. All right. Well, yeah. Okay.
I mean, but seriously, and I know this is over, but would y'all have 4 people in y'all house living there that you don't know?
Nah, I would.
While you sleeping soundly?
No.
Sis, I agree.
Not at all.
Hence my rule. It's my 3 a.m. rule.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all think I haven't calculated this? You are exactly right. I'm not closing my eyes. You got to get your monkey ass up out of here by 3 o'clock so I can change my sheets and act like you don't even been here. And while you're here, I got the lighting dimming up. You see what I want you to see. I control the lighting, the temperature, the music, everything. What room we gonna be in? That's why them hoes is right here on this floor on their knees. They don't even make it to the bedroom.
See, after me, you wake up butt naked with a bare apartment. I leave your ass with a roll of toilet. That's all you would have left.
Yeah, you know which side to put them
Yes,
on.
they over. That's
They
right.
still on the same side.
Good Lord. I mean, back to reality, please, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm just telling y'all be careful out there, man, because there's plenty of them Devons and blacks out there. Y'all, hold on, y'all be careful. All right, y'all. Well, listen, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but he keep on talking about it, so I guess I will now. Marvin Sapp, y'all know he said shut the doors, right? What you say, Brittany Devon? Yeah, yeah.
Need the right one. You need to jump on it.
Mm-hmm. She's educating. Okay, all right. It will be in the education station. Yes.
We already got the title for it. Don't be a dumb hole, be a smart hole. by Lady D.
Smell like hotcakes.
There you go.
Well, speaking of dummies, getting the door shut on them. All right, listen, y'all. Like we've said, many are stupid, and again, I don't have an issue with what Marvin said, but my issue now is how Marvin tried to defend it. And the reality is, yeah, I saw where people said lock the doors. I get it. Y'all want to play on the word lock, shut. Yes. The problem is that he went on the news yesterday trying to promote his Easter service. And he began to try to explain reason why he did what he did. That's where you lost me, homeboy. Because again, I grew up in church all my life. What he did on that, y'all say, well, you just a 30-second clip. No, player, y'all been doing that for decades. Again, where I come from, that's no different than that old man yanking on that girl's hair because he's an old coach. That's an old technique that the church used to do. Because again, if you hear what he really said, he didn't say shut the doors because it's too loud out in the hallway. Shut the doors because we don't want nobody coming in trying to steal. No, he said shut the doors so we can all leave together. Now, see, from where I come from, that is manipulation because you don't want the people to leave without giving. That's what you didn't want, and you wanted to try to guilt, browbeat. Case in point, again, I tell you, I grew up in this stuff. When they would have musicals in church, they would invite all the different singing guests to come sing. And you know what some preachers would do before they would even start the musical? They would take up the offering. And you know what they would say? Because we know when y'all get through singing, y'all leaving. So we want to take up the offering now. That's the same thing you were doing, homeboy. But the problem is you trying to make it something else because they are lying about you not locking the doors, but now you lying about what you was really doing, which was trying to get people to raise money for this organization that you was with. That's my problem with you. See, you did it because that's what y'all were taught back in the day. But then now you want to try to front like it was safety. Because I guarantee you haven't done that every single time at your church. You didn't do that. I mean, again, no, could the people have left? They could have, but you were using that to manipulate them to try to guilt them into giving. And that's my problem with that. And so, again, we've talked about this before. So, if y'all got something else to add to that, I'm just saying, I just don't want nobody to be misunderstood. No, he didn't say lock the doors, but he also was trying to manipulate people into giving. Thus, that being a contradiction to scripture, because the Bible says what? That you should not give out of obligation. So even if you did gave because somebody tried to encourage you to do so. And that is giving in vain. Candy Black, since y'all got something.
I think it's the same thing you did everything. He just worded it different. I mean, even in church, when I went to church, they would say little things like, God is never going to give to you if you don't get a God. So you feel like I have to because I won't be blessed unless I give you my money. You may say, sister such and such got cancer and you need to help her out. That's your duty as a blah, 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 blah. I mean, so it's always manipulation. It's just now we have social media. So their business is out there.
Right. So why lie? Just hold to what you said and then let it be what it is, because people still don't support you.
No, but see, I don't give a damn what the fat bastard said. I fundamentally disagree with the whole concept of it at all. The whole concept of prosperity preaching sickens me to my stomach. And so, how much more, again. So when I look at these these jackleg preachers and they fancy halls, fancy clothes, this, that, and you're not even teaching. The Bible says you receive free, you should give free. I get there is a responsibility, to take care of normal things, like, but to build bigger churches and make it, that's unnecessary. And to me, that's tantamount to what Jesus did. And at this time, we get ready to celebrate Easter, where he beat those money grubbing sons of bitches out of the temple because they were turning God's house into a den of thieves. And it happened back then. It's happening now. So for me, I have a problem with it. Forget the phrasing or whatever. That fat feminine bastard, I can't stand him.
Well, there you have it.
Yes, sir. Kenny, I guess we'll leave it at
that. I would say that I pretty much agree with everything you said, Brother Brenton. But if I was Brother Sapp's marketing manager, I would definitely use this as a marketing tool, and I would find a way to benefit off of it, i.e., making a single call close the door.
Well, he said he's gonna preach about it on Easter, so
I would use it as that. But I agree with 100% what you said, as well as Lady D. This has been going on in the church ever since I was a little boy. Yeah. They use your emotions to manipulate people to give. So right. I get it. He just didn't word it correctly. If he would that's all it was.
He did word it correctly. He just got caught on camera.
Yeah, I mean, so I get it. I wasn't that offended because when you grew up in something like that, it's the norm, to be honest with you. So I just kind of ignore it anyway, me personally. So
exactly. See, that's what I'm saying, CC. We already know what they've been doing. So don't sit up and lie now. I told y'all better stop lying on them Bibles now. All right, y'all. Let's keep it going because Black is he's trooping it in for us today, y'all. He's not feeling good, but he's working hard for us. So appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. I know it's getting close to my bedtime.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get y'all out of here real quick. So listen, a double standard. I wanted to ask you guys, what is this issue with the double standard of single parents? Like, let's take, for instance, a man that has 3 kids versus a woman that has 3 kids. Is there clearly a double standard there? Whether it's dating, marrying, you know what I'm saying, whatever, how people get involved with them. Devin, you think there's a double standard with a man with children that's single versus a woman?
I was single with 3 kids, and could no man with 3 kids come near my ass. Gotta be a single parent.
What?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Because I don't want to deal with what come with that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, there was a time where I could say I would have tried it, but once you know, you know what I'm saying? So I guess there is a double standard because women are looked upon as, like you've lost value as a result of it. But I don't think men have gained value as a result of it, because a woman thinks that you only want me because you want somebody to come raise your badass kids. So it's negative on both ends.
Oh, okay. So
wow.
So you would expect a man to want to be with you with 3 kids, but you wouldn't want to be with a man even if you didn't have 3 kids.
No, what I'm saying is you need to just be honest. Like, if you say you don't want me because I got 3 kids, I don't care. F you and your mama. But if I say I don't want you because you got 3 kids, you can say the same to me.
Right.
But he do want to F you. That's the problem.
Right.
You gotta
no, I get that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Kenny, I mean, you think there's a double standard here?
I think it is. I think men that may be a single parent are looked at differently than women are, because I think there's just more women that are single parents than men that are actually taking care of their children by themselves.
Okay. I'm finna say they both got to be, somebody got to be the daddy, so they are.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, and I'm speaking from coming from a single parent household, so I can speak from that position. That's why I never had a problem with women with kids, because I'd be like, how the hell could I not want a woman that has children? And my mother had 2 kids, and I would have wanted a man that want my mama. So to me, any dude that say that come from a single parent household, I think they kind of clownish, in my opinion.
Interesting. Okay, I got more to ask, but Black, what do you think about that? Is it a double standard?
I think it is, but I think it's changing.
Okay.
You know, I think it's changed. So it's become generational. I think in my time it absolutely was. That was definitely a factor. But to me, you had a different quality of men and a different quality of women. When I look at what's happening now with this generation, I don't think it's a bigger deal anymore. The same way that we've blurred the lines racially, you know, interracial dating, and even with age. I grew up at a time where if you saw a man that was, you know, 40 something dating some 20, but now, you know, those lines are blurred now. And now I don't think the kids part matter for this younger generation. I don't think they give a damn one way or the other. You know, their sexual fluidity in terms of how they label themselves and who they want to be with. I don't think it matters as much in this generation. I don't even hear that conversation anymore, because I don't think they're planning that far ahead to think it through, to be able to say on either side, hey, she's got 3 kids, and what am I going to do with that? Am I going to be able to take care of this woman? I don't think that's a factor anymore. I don't think women are even thinking in terms of, hey, he got a bunch of kids, and you know, so where would I fit into this? When you look at social media, it's one big hodgepodge of multiple baby daddies, baby mamas, this, that, and the other. And so I think it's changed over time.
Interesting. Now, Devin kind of got into my next question, but it was about the valuing, right? Of the devaluing of the more children a woman has, the less valuable she is. Now, I don't think we put that on men, but again, Devin, what do you think that's stemming from? What value are they losing? Is it time with the person they're trying to date?
Because you're used. You've birthed 3 kids, so you're used goods.
So from a woman's perspective, you're saying,
yeah, that's what Kevin Samuels talked about.
Yeah, the woman is devalued because she's had 3 kids. Like she's her worth has declined, and she needs to settle for a lot lower.
I mean, do you agree with that, or you just reciting something that Kevin said?
I obviously don't agree, because I've never had an issue getting a man of value to want to date me, even with my kids. But I know a lot of men feel that they don't want that. They want a woman with either no kids or at the most 1 kid, and then they label you over baby daddies, and it's just a whole diatribe of stupid shit.
Yeah, but Black, here's the thing. If so say for instance, the man has 3 kids, and that's even take it to the extreme by 3 different women. That's a lot of child support.
Yes, it is.
Is he not devalued then?
Should be. It should be, but again, and that would be the fair way to look at it. But fair is a place where we judge pigs, and so, you know, in the real world, the bitch is devalued. You know, if that trap done had 3 C's pulled up out of it, all of a sudden now you want to think you're gonna dig in my pockets? No. And then most of them don't look like Devin. So, you know, most of these nasty ghetto bitches out there, you know, after the wall's been tore up and then had a whole army through that pussy, and now you all of a sudden now you want to come talking about now you got principles, you got 5 kids, and now you want to do right and be responsible. Where was you closing the door to that before you let, as Kitty's special question, before you let multiple baby daddies shoot up the club? Now you want to have principles and values? Yes, please.
But again, Kenny, we see it. We keep moving away from the man that got to pay $1,200 a month for 3 kids, and again he got 22. He making $24 an hour. You know what I'm saying, at the Piggly Wiggly. Yeah,
this check is what, $25 after all that. Honestly, women ain't dealing with that, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't talk about that, but women don't want to deal with a dude that got like that many children and he got child support coming out the ass. They don't want to fool with that. You know, so it is what it is. You know, it's both a double standard from both sides. I think you can kind of pick out double standards from the man and the woman perspective. So
okay, all right. So here's my last one then, and we'll be done with this. So the resentment. Should the person with the children resent the people that they've had the kids with because because of these standards? Like, should there be some? Because again, a lot of times you see women very angry. You know what I'm saying, at the men that they slept with, and again they talk about them like a dog. right? And then sometimes you have dudes that you know they can't stand all women because the people they were sleeping with, you know what I'm saying, they got a problem with it. So I mean, where should we be focusing the resentment? Or should there be self? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, both of them should be quiet because y'all chose them. Don't nobody want to hear that. You chose to lay down with Susie Q. You chose to lay down with David D. And you deal with the consequences. And they probably sold you a bag of goods from the jump. It was all good and gravy when you were first getting to know them, but then their true character came out once those babies came along.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, sister, I mean, should we focus some resentment somewhere?
Yeah, I hated my ex until about last weekend. That's just, I mean, my kid's grown. I mean, that's just life. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but I hate him for a multitude of reasons. But the maturity allowed me to try not to take it into my next relationship.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. This was also someone who would tell me I should stay with him through his bullshit because no one would want me with 3 children. So I had a lot of reasons, you know, to be the way that I was, like, you know, with him. But yes, I should be more mature. And men should be more mature. And I like today that men are now taking full joint custody of their kids. And to me, that makes it better and it evens the playing field. I have a week, you have a week. Yeah. So then there's no one who feels like they're having to tote more of the burden.
Right. Well, Black, I'll ask you this, though, in this way. So again, we're talking about these two, you know what I'm saying, the men and the women, but when it all boils down, should the person with the kids seem more grateful for the person, I guess, to like that wants them, or should they be over and above, like go over and above for, you know, how do you say it, like their gratitude is just they should be thankful that somebody wants them now. Should that be an attitude? Like, should they be trying harder, or does that kind of? Maybe I'm asking the wrong person.
I know what you're trying to say.
No, I know. I'm saying.
Are you asking me that if somebody has 3 kids, should there be a level of gratitude that somebody will still want them, even though they have those children? And
then the way they behave in this like Lord-like manner, or you know, what I'm saying, they put up with more stuff. Maybe the guy's abusive.
Well, no. Nobody should still, in my opinion, have to put up with being mistreated.
Right.
You know, look, this show talked about accountability. You know, on a serious note, the decisions are made when the decision's made to bring the child into this world. You now have responsibility as a parent, but that don't mean you have to sacrifice, you know, being mistreated or finding somebody good. Now, is that going to be easy? It's going to be difficult. You know, that's where reality needs to set in. And hopefully, like Sister Devin said, and brother Kenny said, there should be a level of maturity that comes along with the fact of recognizing that, okay, I can't go out there now and expect to get someone that doesn't have children. You know, I have no children, right? You know, my children are grown, but I have to lower my expectations and make them more realistic at 57. You know, because why would a woman in her 20s or 30s with no children I have to be recognized she might not want to be with me if I got 3 kids. So, but I hope that the package that I'm presenting, if I'm responsible, if I'm accountable, then that still hopefully will allow me to attract somebody that would appreciate who what I am. And even for a woman, she don't deserve to be mistreated because she got 3 kids. My issue is with the unrealistic expectation of it all, that you got 3-5 kids and all of a sudden now I won't sleep with you until we get married. Bitch, please, you done gave that pussy up all them times, you better give it up now.
Yeah. All right. You know, he comes in and out of that sciatica right
there. He rub a little bit of something back there, and then he gone. He gone. He in that left lane. He going about 85, Jack.
Dang, nice and lubed. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, y'all, I just want to say we've made our beds. We got to lie in them. But again, just moving forward, let's teach our children, because these girls are letting these babies go off too, just like these boys. They don't want them young girls. They punting their kids off just like these boys are. They don't want to be bothered. They have them, and you want your baby? No, you have them. You can hold them, keep them. Can you come get you? It's like, man, y'all, because again, they don't want to feel, less. They want equality like with the boys. So okay, all right, y'all. Well, that is, and that's why. Anyway, I ain't gonna go there. But all right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Black himself is coming with you all to thine own self.
I make mine real short. We've heard this expression, to thine own self be true. Two things that stood out to me, we've had a lot of things and I have to try to keep it current, but organically, this show has been so much about character. Almost every topic we've talked about character, and we need that more now than ever before. When we look at, even from the very top, talking about politics, from the character that bleeds down from the Oval Office to who we are as individuals. Two things happened real quick that made me think about personal character. It's been widely reported in the news about the Obamas. And every report, they're reporting that they're going to split, and they're quietly dividing up $70 million, this, that, and the other. And they're basing it off the fact that she chose not to come to Jimmy Carter's funeral, another event she didn't show up to. So they must be getting divorced. The inauguration. Mm-hmm. And I love what she had to say. She said it couldn't possibly be that as a grown woman, right, I prioritize my own decision for myself, that I have to come to show up. And because I didn't come with my husband to those events, y'all took it all the way to, I'm getting divorced, And I just love how real she is in making people recognize, how she stands on her own principles. Then you had Keke Palmer, who has her own social media show, and she had recorded a segment with Jonathan Majors, and it was all set to debut. Great conversation, this, that, and the other, but here come Black Twitter. And at the last minute, she scrapped it and put on a different show because they called her out for the fact that, oh my God, he's a wife beater, and how can you have him on this, that, and the other? Well, why am I bringing this up, people? I don't have very many friends. At this stage of my life, I lead a very quiet life, very peaceful life, and I've tried to surround myself with people of a certain quality. And from the story about the guy stabbing to all of the things we talked about tonight, I love that I get to come visit here with you guys. I have a pinched nerve that's absolutely killing me right now, but I wanted to be here because of the people that I love and respect, and to bring a little bit of sunshine into my world, because I really respect your character. How we are as individuals, we stand on our personal belief systems, our truths, and we're just genuinely good people. And what's scary to people that may not know about this, I've never physically met these three people on this camera. Yep. I developed a relationship with them over time based on their character, their values, their principles, and what they stand on. And so we can't change the world, folks. And I truly believe we are in a different America. And I wanted to give you those two examples of two different ways to handle things. We can be those people that's influenced easily by all of the background noise that's going on around us, because here we are on social media, and Kenny and Brent and myself, we have our individual shows. But I hope that we authentically continue to show up as our true selves and stand on what we believe and love and respect each other regardless. That lady down there in the corner, we love her. We love her with all our heart, and we'll stand and fight for her, because she's not phony and being fake when she's telling you that. It may come across as comical, but she means that from the bottom of her heart, and using this opportunity to stand on what she believes in and try to pass that along. And so while we might not be running for office, and the elections are over, folks, but you know who we can influence in our own little personal spheres? A small little circle, and surround ourselves with people that have good character, good moral values, good principles, and even in deference to your own. I'm a work in progress, but I love the fact that I get to meet every week with people that balance out all of my inequities. And so I love that my sister continues to check me, and my two brothers call me out on things that they stand on, because at the end of the day, It makes me a better person, and I truly value them because they always standing on to their own system of beliefs. And at the end of the day, if you don't stand for something, what's the expression? You'll fall for anything.
Yes, sir.
And so always be true to yourself. God bless.
That's it. And listen, just make sure you don't fall in Lee Black's bed. You're gonna get something you don't want.
Well, if you do, call me first, girl. Call me first.
And you gonna stand and kneel for something, and that's for sure.
Black carrot cash. You don't need right.
Listen, what they say in church, you won't leave as you came. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You will not leave the same way you came in here. That's it. Thank you, Miss Tori. Appreciate this so much. Always a fantastic show, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely appreciate you all for joining us, and my family always. I watch this show 2 or 3 times because I can't stand watching nothing else now. Nothing means nothing to me no more. So, but it's final thoughts time, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're familiar with the show, you know the tradition here now is that Kenny does not go last.
I'm the lead off.
Yes,
you know,
so,
I am the lead off for this relay, and I must say, good to be back. Good to see my beautiful Black people on today. And before I get to my little quick final thought, Easter is coming up Sunday. I know everybody has their own different religious beliefs, but I want you all to enjoy your Easter with your families, whatever you decide to do. Don't be eating too much of that swine. Be careful. Leave that swine alone. And also, I want to be Lady D's her marketing manager because she's going to be writing a new book. So it's going to be titled "Don't Be a Dumb Hoe, Be a Smart Hoe." Right, Lady D, and I am going to be her. I'm going to be her publicist, and we're going to get this book popping. So there you have it. So y'all make sure y'all look for that coming real soon. And last but certainly not least, I have to wish someone that actually carries my name. Today is his 32nd trip around the sun. My firstborn, Kendrick Jr., turned 32 years young today, and old to be 32 years old again.
Yes, Lord.
Oh my God. But anyway, neither here nor there. What an awesome son he is. I wouldn't know what I would do without him. He the one that first one I shot the club up with. So I appreciate that. And I also have to wish y'all know I'm gonna say something funny. I also have to wish his mother, Bridget Annette, my first love, her birthday, because she gave birth to our first son on today. And may she continue to continue on her peaceful journey and rest in paradise. So those are my final thoughts.
Yes, sir. Now listen, the inquiring minds want to know: have you shot up the club since 32 years ago?
Oh no. When you talking about, when I say shooting up the club, that means there's a little youngin coming out. Now I've only shot the club up 3 times.
Without a youngin coming out.
Y'all giving asterisks now. That not the clubs I go to. Not the clubs I go to. I leave out the exit door on them clubs.
You're gonna be having a bunch of kids come out looking like Benjamin Button.
All right, Kenny. We'll get you started because all right. Well, thank you, sir. We just wanted to clarify that for inquiring minds. Madam, welcome back. What is that where you went to Padre Island?
No, this is Bahamas. I was in Colombia and Aruba and St. Martin. In Puerto Rico.
Wow.
But y'all check out this Tubi movie. There's a dude and he got a relationship with 3 women and they having a good time and they partying and he's sleeping, he tired. And 2 of them done got him in some compromising positions, and there might be a man in the room, and they got some photos and a ball in this dude's mouth. This unreal, this not true dude. And there's some strap-ons, and there's all kinds of photos being taken. And the next day, we're gonna have a conversation about it, and we're gonna say, I know you care about your ego because people been putting out rumors about you, and you're very toxic masculine. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's work something out. Bitch, you paid. So I'm gonna need all of y'all to do better, figure out a way to get that money. This a movie. It ain't real. In Tubi world, this is how you make it big in the life of hoeing. I'm gonna need you hoes to do better, but you got to send it to at least 3 to 4 emails. That way, if he take you out, it's gonna come out, and he don't know who it's coming out with. So you got to stay alive so that the email don't come out and that the photos don't come out, because so he got to protect you. You are a priority now. But anyway, chapter 1. Now I'm going to go back to my
I'm like, what are you talking about? Your book. Okay. All right. All right. I remember I'm a little slow this
I
evening.
can't even mess with that. God bless. Bravo, sis. I'm gonna leave that alone. Look, it will sell like hotcakes. Absolutely.
And whoever black woman is, before you go over there, I know he carry cash. He don't like banks. Call me, ho. I got you.
See, you can't be messing up my flow. It's warming up around here, D. You can't be messing up my flow.
That's it.
My final thoughts is this past Saturday, I celebrated our Passover. I definitely wanted to reiterate that, you know, there's all kinds of things we can celebrate. And as Brother Kenny said, whatever your religion is, you know, I'm an inactive Jehovah's Witness. So I attended the Passover celebration, and it was beautiful, you know, because it's the one time, believe it or not, where it gives me an opportunity to reflect on all the things that, you know, I'm grateful for. I'm blessed, you know, and hoping to see my mom here in the next 3 weeks. So I want to remind, you know, you guys, for whatever your celebration is, and even if you don't have a formal celebration, you know, we have to incorporate God into it some way, you know, the higher power, you know, to get through the things that we have to, and just show appreciation. And my last shout out is to my brother on last Thursday, April 10th, my brother Paul, who's passed. For those who don't know me, everything about my personality comes from my two brothers who were passed on, Paul and Al. And April 10th was Paul's birthday, and just a beautiful individual. And I'm just proud to still carry the mantle of some of the things that Small P taught me. And for those of you who don't know, yeah, the street side, the Hood side, they come from my older brother. And so I'm always loving for that. And I believe that I got 3 good educations out there, and Paul gave me the ones from the streets. So shout out to my brother.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. This Paul in the Bible wrote the book. Paul, he is the book. All right, I'm with you. This story, he's gonna have the that's it. Prices.
Trump messing with my game. The value of the dollar's going down.
I'm telling you, my goodness. Say it ain't so. All right, y'all. Well, listen, I got a quick one, and we're gonna get out of here because I'm on Kenny's dime. Question: what do you think a person's biggest stumbling block would be on their path to life? What would you say a humongous stumbling block could be for a person?
Money.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For men and women.
Okay. That
opportunities.
Is. So how you say opportunities is a stumbling block?
For some of us, you know, we just don't have the access.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just making sure. Listen, I'm slow sometimes. I gotta know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just learning. Okay, well, listen, I do have a thought, but I'd like y'all to take a look at this, and then I'll tell you what probably the most greatest stumbling block in somebody's life is.
Seems like I push against the.
What happened to him?
He had a blowout.
He should have ran in the grass.
He had a damn blowout.
He had a good start though, but what happened to
him? Man, either that ankle bad, that knee bad, something wrong. Something went wrong. Okay, well, I know it'd be the shock value of it all for the first, but yeah, look, it ain't nothing there, but something gave out, and I just want y'all to see. Look here.
Seems like I push against the.
He should have had his old ass somewhere sitting down somewhere. That's what that is.
That's exactly what that is.
Right.
I know
that. Yes. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, there may be a lot of things that get in your way to your path of life, but I'm telling you, the worst stumbling block could ever be is yourself. Stay out your own way.
That is a profound statement,
Love it.
brother.
Right.
You are right.
I love it.
Get out your own way. You
Yes,
too old
sir.
to be out there trying to run a 40 in your 40s. That's why I don't play that. I don't play basketball with my kids no more. You kidding me?
Right.
I don't play
Yeah.
tackle football no more. I don't box. Listen, man,
Right.
I'm too. Oh, I gotta go to work in the morning.
That's right.
I'm not doing all that. Miss Tori, you do the same.
You too, Miss
Yeah.
Tori.
Thank you.
Much
Thank you.
love.
Curl. So yeah, so
Already.
listen, y'all do me a favor. There's a lot of things out there that will keep us from doing things in life, but the greatest one is stay out your own way.
No doubt.
Don't be your own stumbling block. Cause listen, that thing hurt. That ground wins 24/7 all the time. So yes, know your limits. All right, listen, she been gone for a minute, so I think we'll be back next week. But if not, yeah, okay. So yeah, hopefully Lee be feeling better too. So y'all, but listen,
Right,
that's
right.
Kenny, that's Lee, and that's Devin, and we gonna see y'all on Monday. We out. Peace. Sorry, wrong button.